Ah yes, blood drives. The time of year when a blood drive happens at school, and they ask if you want to donate blood. People sign up wanting to help donate because they have the rare universal O negative blood type, which is basically liquid gold. You save a life, and you get a nice little treat for your donation, and even skip class sometimes. Wait, this is about donating plasma. So, I don't normally donate anything if it involves my body, especially my blood. I need that stuff, man. You can't have that. I think when donating blood, I've done it once, as a treat for myself. But the treat they gave me was terrible since it was 2 cookies in a juice box. Although the satisfaction of people asking if you donated blood just to have 2 seconds of attention will always be nice for me. Please ask me why I have a band-aid. I've yet to reach my 1-year compliment. Skip a few years later, and I come across what is known as plasma donations. A way to make a small amount of money while donating something that you make every day. Easy work. So I thought, why not try it? Can't be that bad. So I dragged my mom with me because I always need moral support when doing anything new. Entering my local plasma donation center, I get asked some basic questions. You have blood? Yes? Wait over there. I sit down, wait for a doctor, which takes like 30 minutes when there is literally no one else waiting. Cause if they were faster, then you'd have more life to live, and I believe they don't want you to do that. After my checkup and telling them about this one drug I have that I need to stay alive, which always gets another doctor asking questions, which makes the process longer, they finally finish up and I get sent right back to the waiting area for another 30 to 45 minutes. Mind you, I showed up before 5. I want you to guess when I left this place. Keep that number in mind now. I then get sent to this private room, which is big enough to hold me and the small chair. This room was to give me a credit card with all the plasma money I was about to get after each donation. After that, they send me to go watch a safety video about plasma donation. I sit down with the cheapest earbuds I have ever felt and watch a 15-minute video that felt like 30. After not paying attention and just listening, nearly falling asleep, I finally get to another medical screening. This whole process is understandable because they just want to make sure you're healthy and not gonna, So I finally get to this little door, those half-sized doors, the one. There's only a half wall separating this entire medical area and where you would get your body drained of all its life. I mean, where you donate. I honestly think I was the youngest person there, so, kind of an awkward place for me. Before I even opened the door, hey! What color are your veins? Red? Apparently they had a system to see if your veins are good or not. If it was easy tapping for all that blood drain. They grabbed my arm and started tapping on the inside of the elbow. I don't know, the soft part. They just kept tapping it, even giving it a little squeeze as they mumble. Maybe yellow? Can't be green. Calling over another person since they couldn't decide, they also began tapping on my arm and squeezing it. Now feeling even more awkward, I stood there and thought if it was too late to just run. After putting a yellow dot on my hand, I finally step into the donation area. I get settled down in a weird reclined bed with this box machine. After just sitting around and looking at all the old people who were on their phone or just sleeping, someone finally came up and begins prepping the machine. They tell me how the machine works and how long it'll take. So this machine is supposed to take your blood, then separate your plasma and everything else. After it gets around 200 milliliters of plasma, it pushes back all your nasty blood back into your body so you can drive home without feeling woozy and wobbly. Now I'm here expecting a small needle like the ones at doctor's offices when they pulled out the biggest needle I have ever seen. I'm not deathly afraid of needles. I understand that it's sometimes the only way and the best way to get drugs into your system. But hello, the video that I never paid attention to and the information that I never paid attention to mentioned nothing about you getting poked with a needle that is the size of a 5-pixel wide brush. After they tap around my arm, they then stick it in. And let me just tell you, I felt every single inch of this cold piece of metal entering my veins. Imagine pinching your arm, now with your nails, and tug up slightly. That's what I felt and continued to feel the entire time. That's not the worst part. Apparently, it's hard to find my veins. Guess what they decided to do? Yup, pull that sucker out a little and move it. Repeatedly. They were doing this for a solid minute before finally finding my vein and starting up the machine. Now able to just relax, I get on my phone, look around, and just wait. Just sit and let the machine do its thing. But oh no, my body refused to give up blood that easily. See, if the machine senses any problems with the pressure, it will beep. Constantly. Until someone fixes it. And how they fix it, you guessed it, move the needle around. So after sitting there longer than most because I kept having issues, my paranoid mind begins to wander. Wouldn't it be weird if I suddenly get kidnapped and my mom was in on it and I'll never be seen again? I lay there and notice I'm the only one left in the building. Weird. Those nurses kind of go around me, surrounding me almost. weird. Then a doctor walks up. I'm gonna die. So, nah, I'm just kidding. The doctor was nice and just asked me how my experience was. And I told him, That's all I said because I felt that if I told the truth, it would trouble them. He then asks me why I was donating, and I was just being honest and said money. He laughed and said most people are, and left. I soon finished up and was told I'll get my money charged to my card. Now it's the time for you to see if you guessed right on when I left. Do you remember what you guessed? Because if you guessed a 9 o'clock, you'd be right. Good job. So that was my first time donating plasma, and I didn't feel too bad, although I had a giant dot on my arm now from where they poked me. But guess what? I went there 2 more times. Yup, I did all that again, excluding the doctor visit. They did my medical screening and everything as usual, and I go to the donation area as normal. Now, I'm just gonna skip to what happened in my 2 visits, because it gets worse with each one. The second time I went, the machine was doing its normal beeping until it really beeped. Like, screaming beeping. A staff member walked over and saw the problem. Guess what they had to do? That's right, they had to move this giant needle to my other arm. This person, clearly more experienced, saw how hard it is to find my vein, but they were able to get it. They recommended for me to ask for a senior tech the next time I visit to avoid any major issues, because worst case is that I don't get my blood back and I wouldn't be able to go home because I would be all woozy and lightheaded. And that's exactly what I did the 3rd time I visited. They got a senior member, not the same one that poked me as usual. Same problem. My arm was rejecting this needle and refused to make it easy for them. The person then moved it to my other arm, and I thought it would all be fine like last time. Until I felt an odd tightness on my arm, right where the needle was. It felt like my arm was getting bloated. I thought the blood was being blocked and the machine was just trying to shove it in, desperate to give my blood back. The machine has a safety feature for when it can't get blood, it pushes some back and it tries to suck again. I silently panicked and sat there for a solid 10 minutes thinking it would go away and I wouldn't have to call for anyone. Except the sensation would not go away. In that moment, I had thought my arm was going to explode and I would need to go to the hospital. I finally called someone over and they looked worried. They quickly stopped the plasma process and switched it over to have the machine return my blood. Except it wouldn't fully do that either. How is my arm this difficult? Why does my body hate making money? I was now surrounded by 3 people who were trying to figure out what to do until an older lady walked up like this. She quickly fixed the problem, I got my blood back, and they even gave me the full amount of money for half the plasma, which was very nice of them. I never donated plasma after that, and all I got was some money and 2 holes in my arms. Hey, been a while. Sorry, this took so long. This animation was a lot more complicated than my previous one since I wanted to do a lot more things and just to show it's more lively. So, sorry for the wait, but here it is. Yippee! If you're still confused about what plasma donation does, think about people like Iron Mouse. Do you know who Iron Mouse is? If you do, great. It helps people like her when you donate plasma. If you don't know who Iron Mouse is, then go look her up and, do a little lore search about her. But yeah, plasma donation, very helpful for those. It just, my body doesn't like it apparently. My veins, very tiny and very hard and do not like to be poked apparently, except by a small little needle from a doctor's office. So yeah. Do donate plasma. The whole money part in this was was slight joking, but you do get paid quite well. And like, I don't know, sometimes you get some benefits when you donate your first week or something like that, and then it kind of drops off a bit, but you still get paid quite well. So, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and give it a try. Do make sure to look up and see if you qualify to donate plasma, because we don't want any type of problems. Don't want to go to the hospital now. They'll kick you right out. But yeah, do consider donating plasma. Very helpful for people. Make sure you go to a good, reputable place. Don't go to some back alley and hope that, you get $100 for donating. Might lose other things than just your blood. Alright, thanks for watching the video. Bye bye.